In this video, we'll learn how to use OKX's arbitrage trading bots. Using these bots lets us create arbitrage trades within the crypto market very easily. It's a great feature that OKX have, and there's two different types of arbitrage trade that we can go through, which is the funding rate arbitrage and the spread arbitrage. I'm going to explain exactly what these are and how they work, some of the risks around them, and then how to actually go ahead and implement these using the trading bots on OKX. Timestamps for everything down below. Funding rate arbitrage tries to take advantage of the funding rate within crypto futures, which I will quickly explain. So we all know that there is a spot market where we can use money to buy crypto or sell crypto, and that is what we own and hold. So that's this one right here on the right hand side, the spot market, which is the real crypto market. This on the left hand side is the perpetual futures market. It's known as a derivatives market because it derives its price from the underlying asset that it's trying to track, which is Bitcoin in this case. Now, this is a separate market with separate buyers and sellers, which means that this price can change independently of the underlying asset, which is not good because you have a market that is trying to track the price of Bitcoin, and that price may be different. So that's not great. And so what the exchange does to try and keep these buyers and sellers in line with the underlying spot price is to make them pay a funding. This is a fee to try and incentivize trade to make sure that it is in line with the underlying spot price. So if there are more buyers than sellers, the price will be pushed up, and this price will be higher than the spot price. You can see that actually right now that this price in the futures market is higher than the spot price. This means that people going long, taking long positions, will have to pay a fee to short sellers who are selling. And that fee is an incentive to attract more sellers and to disincentivize buyers to pay higher prices. Of course, the other way around is that if this price was underneath the spot price, then sellers would have to pay the fee to buyers as a disincentive to sell and an incentive to buyers to actually come in and buy because they receive that funding. So that's the funding rate, and we can arbitrage this funding rate whilst not taking a risk position on the price of the asset. So we know an arbitrage is taking a position that has no market risk in the price, right? So we don't want to buy and we don't want to sell because that's just a position. We want to create a delta neutral position, which is a position of zero. However, we want to take advantage of the funding. So this is how that works. For right now, the funding is positive, which means longs or buyers are paying this funding to shorts or sellers. So you can see here that the APY would be around 4%. What they do is take the current funding rate, annualize this, and say that would be the annualized yield if you had the position open for a year. You don't need the position open for that long though, but you can see all of the details up here of the funding. You can also look at some of the data. So if you go back to trading data and information here, you can dig into the contracts and how the funding is working out. But simply, you can see that the APY right now, if you were to open this, is around 4%. Now, if you look as well, you can see the different funding rate arbitrages going on. So USDT margined, and there are many here that are obviously much higher than this. But this funding rate can change. Like I said, it can go positive or negative. And of course, very unreliable when trading these types of assets with much higher fees because the uncertainty is higher. For Bitcoin, 4%. So how do we actually go ahead and trade this? Well, for right now, funding is positive, which means longs are paying shorts. So for us to receive that funding, we need to take a short position in the futures market because shorts are getting that funding. So what we do is we buy $1,000 in the spot market and we cash settle that. So we own $1,000 of BTC. We take a short position in the futures market of the exact same amount. And so we synthetically sell BTC. We have a short futures position. You don't need Bitcoin to sell because you're in the futures market. So the net position that we have in Bitcoin is nothing because we've bought $1,000 and we've sold $1,000, right? So even though we have two positions open, our net risk to the price of Bitcoin should be zero. Now, it's not going to be zero. It's going to be a little bit because you won't get a perfect trade, but it's around zero, right? And so if Bitcoin goes up 10%, this goes up 10%, this goes down 10%, and so our net position doesn't change, right? We don't make a profit or a loss, and that is the arbitrage. However, because the funding rate is paying shorts 5%, we are receiving that 5%. Therefore, we're getting a 5% yield with taking minimal market risk. So let's go through actually putting that on. What are the risks here? The first one is the execution risk of the trade. If you don't get it right, or if you get a bad trade, then that's going to really eat away at the potential yield that you're getting, especially if you hold it for a short period of time. The other is platform risk, because you're using a centralized exchange. You have opportunity risk, because if you're doing this in a bull market, it's going to be much more profitable to just hold a risk position. And then the last risk there is funding rate risk. Like I said, this funding rate can change over time. So it can be positive, but it can switch to negative, which means that the amount of yield that you're getting from that trade may go down. So we have to be aware of all of those risks and then understand, is this the right time to actually go ahead with this trade? I'll show you how to implement this funding rate arbitrage though, because this is the great thing about the OKX platform that I've not seen on other platforms, is that we get both sides of the trade right here, so we can implement them at the same time. Firstly, just make sure you're trading the asset that you want to trade and it is margined in the way that you want. I'm going to be using USDT to margin, but you can use crypto margined if you want, or USDC. So you can just search for the asset that you want to trade here, BTC, this one, funding rate arbitrage. Now from here we have the system choosing the sides for us. Because the funding rate is positive now, it automatically knows that to make money from this trade, we would need to sell futures to receive the funding. And that means the other side is to buy in the spot market. So from here, sell and buy. Now you can choose the leverage that you're taking in the futures market. You don't have to take any leverage here. So you can use 1x leverage, but that just means you have to fund the trade on both sides. If you want to take a little bit of leverage, what that means is that you can actually use more of your cash to buy more in the spot market. You're using leverage to, increase the size of your trade a little bit, which means more yield on a higher amount. So that would make a higher yield on the amount that you've actually put in cash. For me, I'll just leave it at 10x. Now, the massive danger of using leverage is that your futures position gets liquidated. So what you're doing when you're using 10x leverage is saying you're taking a short position on the price. And if you put $1,000 in, you can take a $10,000 position. Now that means a 10% move wipes out your leverage of $1,000. So what you're saying here is that if you're using 10x leverage, if the price moves up 10% in your futures position, that will get liquidated. Now it doesn't mean you're losing money, because your spot is up at 10% as well. However, when you get liquidated, you pay fees, liquidation fees and other things, which is going to reduce any profits that you make as well. So managing leverage is important. And if you've got a 6-month time horizon, you just have to ask yourself, within that 6 months, where could the price possibly go? And, is the leverage enough to not get liquidated? Or if it is, can I put more cash into the trade to make sure it doesn't get liquidated? Because you don't obviously want that getting liquidated. So use leverage at your discretion. But from here, we need to put a price in that we're opening the trade at. So I'm just going to do market orders for this example. So market orders right here. And that means that both will get traded instantly. Now, the trouble here is that, as you can see, the prices are slightly different, right? They're a couple of dollars out either side. Now, for a large asset like BTC, this is going to be a couple of dollars. So, it's not going to make a big difference. But obviously, with market orders, you're not getting a perfect trade. So what you could do is, put a limit order in here, right, with, 45,888 or something like that on both sides. Now, of course, the trade may not go through if you're using limit orders, right? Because you may have a trade that's away from the price that never trades. So again, another risk. So, just choose what you want, but we'll choose a market order here. Now, from here, you have to choose an amount that you want to put in each side. Now, for BTC, as you can see here, the minimum trade size is 1 contract, which is 0.01 BTC. And so if you're trading futures, that is the minimum amount that you can trade in the futures market, the minimum position size, 0.01. So from here, that would be around $458. So just call it $500 for the total. Now, you don't need $500 if you're taking leverage. If you're using 10x leverage, then you would only pay $50 to create this $500 position. Now, on the other side, what do you want to do? Well, if you don't have any Bitcoin already, right, that you have, in your account, then you would take the other side. Now, you don't need to. You can just press sell here and take that futures position, or you can open the other side as well. if you do want to do that and you want to create a perfect neutral position, then you have to, of course, buy the exact same amount. So you would go long in spot with 500. You can't leverage this because this is a spot trade. So that would be 500 that you would need to put in. And on the left side, that would be the synthetic futures trade. And it needs to be exactly the same amount in dollar terms, right? So 500 long, 500 short. And then you can click both legs. Now, for me, I've only got a small amount on my account, so I can't open this much. So what I'm going to do is just open a random amount just to show you, right? So what I'm actually doing is going short with a tiny long position, which isn't delta neutral, but obviously you can see that as an example. So what I'm going to do is open both legs like this, and it's going to confirm that. You can see all of that. I'm going to confirm, and that should be open for me. So of course, the spot trade is just a standard spot trade. So I've now got $20 of BTC, and down in my open positions right here, you can see the short position. So the size is around $500. You can see that here, 0.01 BTC, which was the contract, right? So that's what we're trading. We're 10x leverage, which means a 10x move, a 10% move to the upside will liquidate our position. We can add more cash to this position though. So you can see the break-even price, the mark price, the entry price that I got, which is a market order, making some money on this futures position already. However, my spot trade will be losing a similar amount. And then you can see the liquidation price here is 55,000. So of course you can add more margin into the trade if you want. If we go across here, you can see all the details, right? So you can now close this trade if you want. So we've got the margin here, 45. The market close is closing this position if we want. And you can actually choose the amount if you don't want to close the entire amount. So let's close, 20% of it or 50% of it. You could see the close option here. You could close this trade down. It's just like a futures trade. It's the exact same thing. So we can edit that position if we want. But if we just hold this position now, what we're doing is we're short in the futures market right here. But you can also see my assets. You should be able to see down here, I have Bitcoin in my spot account because I bought that, right? So that's the $20 that I bought. If you want to take a delta neutral, it's $500. So you have that in your spot account. And right here, you have the short futures trade. Now, if you keep this open through funding periods, you're going to be getting the funding rate as it currently stands. And so you're earning on that. So that would be how to open that delta neutral position. Now, if you want to close this, we're going to close the BTC perp. So we're in some profits on this, but we're losing in the spot trade. So what we're going to do is just close. So I'm going to market close, which is right here. Market close, close all. Just going to confirm this. And that closes the futures trade. Now, what I also have to do is go to my assets, and I have to close this spot trade as well if I need to get out, right? So if you want to hold the Bitcoin now, that's fine, but you still have this spot position. So what you do here is go into selling the spot position. Just go into the manual trading here, and then just go to Bitcoin and trade out of it, right? So sell, market order, and then sell the amount that you would want to sell out. So we do that, sell BTC, confirm, and that sells out the spot position. So now we've completely out of the trade. We can also perform spread rate arbitrage, which is where you trade the same asset across different markets at different prices. So an example here would be using expiry date futures, which are futures contracts with a specific expiry date, for example, March or June, and then trading in the spot market. Now, they will have different prices, and so we can arbitrage the spread. You can also trade different expiries, for example, trading the March and June expiries and the spread between them. If we buy and sell at exactly the same time, and there is a positive difference for us, we simply just get that spread and we make that arbitrage and that profit. The risks here, execution risk in the trade. If you get a bad trade or the spread's bad that you trade at, you're reducing your profits. Platform risk because it's centralized, opportunity risk because if you're in this trade, you could have made much more money elsewhere doing other things, and liquidation risk because if you are trading with a lot of leverage, your futures position may get stopped out, which obviously isn't good because then we can't control the trade and we don't know exactly what's happening there. So the way this works is, as you can see up here, the spread rate currently is around 3%. So there's a 3% difference between the spot market at 45,786 and the 29th of March 2024 expiry date, which is 47,130. So the 3% difference between them right now. Of course, the APY, if you annualize that, they work it out at 6.88%. So pretty good as an arbitrage, right? So what happens here? The system has automatically shown me that I need to sell the futures and buy the spot. If you go down to here and spread arbitrage, this is how you margin them. So this is USDT margin. You can crypto margin as well if you want. We'll just stick to USDT. This is futures. So both legs of the trade are a futures expiry. So we can trade the 29th of March 24 on the buy side and the June expiry on the sell side. That seems to be what the system is telling us is beneficial for us right now. So we are buying the March and we're selling the June. We can also trade future spot, which is on this occasion buying spot and selling the March expiry. Seems to be that that's the best and most profitable way of doing things, and the system has told us that. So let's just do a Bitcoin, March expiry and buying spot. So the yield right here is 6.9%, but the spread between them is 3%. You can see that here, 45.7 and 47.1. So the market is telling me that it thinks that in March, the price of Bitcoin is going to be higher than it is now. So it's 45 now. So what we would do here is, of course, trade the exact same thing. So we need to sell the futures and buy the spot. Market price for each, or market execution, and then the amount would have to be exactly the same. So $500. Remember, you can trade one contract on OKX minimum, so that's 0.01 Bitcoin. So that would be around $450, $500 now. So $500 you would sell, and you would be selling at this price at 47,130. You can also buy crypto, buy the Bitcoin, $500 worth. You'd be buying it now at 45,776. So you are immediately buying and selling the same amount of Bitcoin, and you're immediately getting a 3% spread, right? Now, you can't get that immediately because what you have when you execute this trade is a short position for the 29th of March at 47 and a long position in spot at 45. If you sell them immediately now, all you're doing is just trading 45 buy, 45 sell, 47 sell, 47 buy. And of course, you probably lose money because you're trading the spread on these specific markets. So the only way that we can create this 3% and kind of let the trade actually run out is by waiting until the 29th of March. It doesn't matter what happens to the price. If the price of Bitcoin goes down to 40, right, and then the March goes, 43, it doesn't matter because you're long, short, so you should have a delta neutral. And it doesn't matter because all we're trading is a spread between them. 45 buy, 47 sell. And so whatever happens, if the price goes up or down, shouldn't affect us if we're taking a delta neutral position. We just have to wait until the expiry, and then the profit and loss on each side will cancel each other out to the 3% spread difference that we've traded just now. But you do have to wait until the 29th of March expiry, and you have to make sure that you don't get liquidated on this side of the trade during that. So, of course, the other risk here is within those around about 3 months as of making this, is 3% enough, or could you make more elsewhere? So you would go through and execute both legs here. You would have a long spot position, a short futures position, and then to make sure that the trade worked out, you'd have to wait until the 29th of March. Now, what you could also do is wait maybe a few weeks, and if the positions are in profit for you and you think you want to sell out, then you can do that too manually and actually trade out of those positions down here. But to get the amount of spread that we traded when we actually executed the trade, we'd have to wait until the expiry date, and then OKX will work out what it needs from our account to pay off the futures position or get profits from that position. And then we would have to make sure that we get out of the other side of the trade so that we don't have a position in the market. Link to OKX down below if you don't have an account yet, some other exchange bonuses and helpful videos listed down there as well. I'm James, it's MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.